At this point, we've all started to get a lot more used to this format: Zoom calls, Google Groups, virtual interaction. But there is a way to make sure that you're continuing to be successful in this new format when it comes to business. So to help give us some tips on how to do that is Al Gleason. He is a business manager and a marketing coach. And so we're so glad to have you here, Al. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me, Nohe.
So you've got some great tips that I think can help people be successful, especially when we're talking about how businesses are still operating with their group meetings, with group presentations, and even on a huge convention style via Zoom calls. And so you're talking about nonverbal and verbal communication. So let's start with the nonverbals. What do we need to know?
Yes, I think the biggest thing is, even though we're at home, we're on camera, and we're not in that environment, we still need to prepare for our online meetings like we were going in person. One of the big ways to stand out and be confident on a meeting is to dress appropriately. Don't just do a shirt without the bottoms, put on the full outfit. Right now I have on my shirt, pants, shoes. If I stood up in front of the camera, I'm ready to go. It impacts your confidence, your energy, and it does affect the way that you communicate. Another thing that I like to talk to people about is look into the camera. We're used to seeing people in person. We look at them to make eye contact. When you're on a video conference, the camera is the new eye contact. And so you have to be mindful of that. When you're speaking, look into the camera, not at your screen.
We're all going through that struggle of we're working from home. We might have kids in the background. So giving everybody the heads up too, I imagine is key.
Yes. I treat it like I am on set. I have a bunch of kids at home. I have 6 total at any given time. And so I put up a sign on the door. I close the door, let everybody know that I'm about to be in a meeting so that I don't get those distractions. And like I said, I treat it just like we're on set. So that's very important. And then also your background. Invest in a virtual background or set up an area that you're going to do all your conference calls from. Put your plaques on the wall, your pictures, your plants, whatever you want to do, but invest a little time in that as well. Your presentation is communicating. It's a nonverbal communication to other people, and people tie it to your confidence, believe it or not.
Yeah, I definitely buy into that. Let's talk a little bit about verbal communication and some of the challenges and how to get around them. Certainly, as we see more businesses and companies adjust even their full-size conventions to this virtual format, it can seem like it's hard to engage with people. You're not in person, as you say. You're not on that stage. You don't get that audience vibe back. So how can you keep people engaged in this format so that it's not just white noise?
Another way to keep them engaged is to utilize the chat. It's not there just for decoration, or doesn't have to be. So when you make a point, you want audience engagement, ask them to place something in the chat. Not just a question, but hey, if you understand what I'm saying, type a hashtag. If you are excited about this next move, put an exclamation point. Not just a simple yes or no, something that people have to think about and show that they're engaged. And when you do that, they'll be more mindful. They will be more engaged because they want to be able to respond when you ask them to.
I love that. That's really unique and a great way to make sure that people are not asleep at the wheel. So Al, if people need more guidance, they want executive training, how can they reach out for you?
You can find me on all the social media platforms. Just search for Al Gleason or Curator of Nonsense, and we'd love to help. It's something we're doing for December. We are raising money for Toys for Tots. So any courses, online courses that you do or training that you do, a large portion of the proceeds this month will go to help Toys for Tots.
That's a wonderful way to give back to the community, as you're already helping businesses as well. Al Gleason, thank you so much for your time and your tips to make everybody a success during this virtual world.
Yes, thank you, Nohe. Thank you for having me.